I am Margaret Pole, and the fortunes and misfortunes of my family illustrate the dangers of a claim to the throne of England. My father, George Plantagenet, Duke of Clarence, rebelled against his brother, King Edward IV, who condemned had him executed in 1478. After the House of York, my uncle King Richard III, was defeated in the Wars of the Roses by Henry VII, this first Tudor king, punished in turn my brother Edward, for plotting, executing him in 1499. Henry VII arranged for me to marry Sir Richard Pole, with whom I had 5 children. When Henry VIII succeeded to the throne, Catherine of Aragon remembered my friendship with her. I was the godmother, and then governess to Princess Mary, and Henry named me Countess of Salisbury. The king even suggested that his daughter Mary, and my 3rd eldest son Reginald should marry. Henry VIII married Anne Boleyn on January 25, 1533, and only later, on May 23, did he have his marriage with Catherine declared null. I was sent away from court. My duties as governess no longer required once Mary too had been sent from court and separated from her mother. Without seeking conflict, I remain courageously loyal to Catherine and Mary and adamantly true to the Roman Catholic Church. I returned to court after the fall of Anne Boleyn, executed on May 19, 1536. My son Reginald had reported to King Henry in 1531 about the difficulties that a divorce would bring to the succession. Reginald broke with Henry VIII in May 1536, denying the royal supremacy and urging the princes of Europe to depose him immediately. The king wrote to me, and I in turn sent my son a letter reproving him for his folly. A popular revolt called the Pilgrimage of Grace broke out in October 1536 in Yorkshire, in support of Catherine of Aragon, and in protest of the suppression of 4 sacraments. In 1537, protests continued with the Bigod Rebellion, after which 216 people were sentenced to death, including 6 abbots, 38 monks, and 16 parish priests. The sacraments were restored, but the suppression of monasteries and confiscation of church properties to distribute them between the king and his supporters continued. Pope Paul III made my son Reginald cardinal and papal legate to England, to support the movements that would prevent the drift undertaken by Henry VIII. The English government responded by attempting to assassinate Reginald and attacking my family, accusing us of conspiracy to install Henry Courtenay, 1st Marquess of Exeter, as king. My eldest son Henry Pole, 1st Baron Montague, was arrested with other relatives, including the Marquess of Exeter. They all were beheaded, except my son Geoffrey. Reginald was declared a traitor in absentia. I was also arrested 10 days after Henry's arrest. My interrogators reported to Thomas Cromwell that they were forced to conclude that either my sons had not included me in their plans for treason, or I was the most arrant traitress that ever lived. On May 27, 1541, I was beheaded in the Tower of London, in an exceptionally brutal manner by an inept axe-wielding executioner, who butchered me on the scaffold. It is said that on the walls of my cell, after my execution, this inscription was found: 4 traitors on the block should die. I am no traitor, no, not I. My faithfulness stands fast, and so towards the block I shall not go, nor make one step, as you shall see. Christ, in thy mercy, save thou me. All that I have worked for to create a legacy for my children was lost. My extensive lands were forfeit to the throne, and only my son Reginald effectively survived Henry's revenge. Geoffrey pleaded guilty at his trial for treason, and then attempted twice to commit suicide. He was pardoned in 1539, and lived in exile. Reginald, on his part, was proud to claim me as a martyr. Pope Leo XIII beatified me in 1886. My memorial is observed on May 28.